Hello, colors, and welcome to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we discuss the latest developing stories. We start with Alejandro Balde, as it has been reported that the Barcelona starlet's contract renewal taken for granted, agents' approval pending. We are going to be discussing more on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barcelona are set to focus on the contract renewals of 5 players. We are also going to be looking at that in much detail. So guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. For over an hour, Real Betis head on to a tight defensive line against Barcelona when the two sides met midweek. For all the Catalans' single-minded efforts, there seemed to be no way of breaking open the defense until their young phenom on the left back, Alejandro Balde, came up with another perfect assist. Balde has been the club's biggest revelation this season and is the latest on the long list of La Masia graduates to fly high at Barca. Even the experienced Jordi Alba and Marcos Alonso have been left behind by the young star, who is now Xavi's first choice left back. According to a report from Gabriel Sanz of Mundo Deportivo, Balde's renewal is taken for granted by club. This does not mean that the club are indifferent towards his continuity, but that Barcelona strongly know that the player wishes to stay in Catalonia. Josh Mendes has already received the renewal document sent by Barca, and only his approval remains before it can be concretely finalized. After all, Balde is seen as an asset whose contract must be carefully shielded. Balde's current contract expires in 2024, and the Catalans see it as important to secure his long-term future as they continue building the core of the team with young talents like Gavi, Pedri, Ansu Fati, Ronald Araujo, and Jules Koundé. The La Masia graduate will likely pen a new deal until 2027 with a release clause worth €500 million. The 19-year-old was the team's best player in the game at the Benito Villamarín and deservedly walked away with the Man of the Match award. On the night, he had 1 assist, 3 key passes, and 10 defensive actions. In 17 league appearances for Barcelona this season, the prodigy has provided 4 assists and created 5 big chances. With an average of over 90% pass completion, it is quite clear why he is seen as one of the Catalan system. Balde is expected to start when Xavi's side take on Sevilla on Sunday night at Camp Nou. Needless to say, he will fancy his chances against a side who have been struggling defensively all season. Of course, we'll be expecting Balde to play in tomorrow's game after an impressive display against Real Betis. Balde have been a revelation, no doubt about that. His performances this season have been second to none, and I think Balde, who is gradually becoming one of the best the best fullbacks there in Europe. Xavi have already taken Balde as his first choice, no matter what. Talk less of the experience of Alba and Marcos Alonso. It's just a dream come true for Balde to be able to bench those two veterans. It speaks volumes, So Barcelona have always been, admiring the player a lot, and his contract has also been a topic of discussion. His contract expires in 2024, and Barcelona want to extend it further. Josh Mendes is his agent, and it has been reported that Barca, it's not like they don't see him as important. Come on. Barca have sent a formal contract renewal offer to his agent Josh Mendes, but he is still to sign on it. He is still to approve it. It all depends on the terms that Barca have put forward. It all remains to be seen. Balde is one of a kind. His performance against Betis was top notch, and of course, he has been doing that on a consistent basis, which makes him highly valued by Xavi, highly valued by many Barca fans. And it's good to see a guy so young like that playing in this kind of level at this young age, which means that the future of Barcelona certainly is going to, improve. So hopefully his contract is being extended. It all depends if Josh Mendes can approve it as soon as possible. Then it will be extended until 2027. Of course, Barca want to keep him for as much as, for as long as possible. And they're also talking about the release clause that the Barca are willing to put forth in that new contract. It will be 500 million euros, not 1 billion. It would be 500 million euros, not 1 billion, as Barcelona have been doing for many of their young stars, in recent months when they extend their contracts. So it remains to be seen how things go from here on. Then on to the next story of discussion. Barcelona made some important strides during the January transfer window. As far as their contract issues are concerned, the club managed to register Gavi as part of the first team and renewed the contract of Marcos Alonso. According to Mundo Deportivo, the Catalans are now focusing on the remainder of the player contracts as they look to extend the stay of players such as Ousmane Dembele, Sergio Roberto, Inaki Pena, Alejandro Balde, and Sergio Busquets. Roberto, for one, has already received an official offer from the club to continue at the club for one more year, with an option to extend for another year. The veteran is yet to issue a response to the offer, despite reports stating that he had rejected the offer. Barcelona should have an easier time with the contracts of both Alejandro Balde and Inaki Pena. Both their extensions have been taken for granted, even though Balde's agent Josh Mendes has not yet given his approval for the documentation he received from the club. Barcelona continue or consider Balde as important asset for the club and want to add an unaffordable 500 million euro release clause in his new contract. His current deal at Camp Nou expires at the end of next season. Meanwhile, Barcelona have reportedly called Ousmane Dembele's agent to their office. They are expected to discuss terms for a new deal. Dembele renewed with Barca during the summer transfer window, but his contract comes with a 100 million euros release clause, which would drop to 50 million euros in the months of June and July. So, in an attempt to safeguard the Frenchman's future at the club, Barcelona are expected to hold negotiations over a new deal, the limit of which could go beyond 2025. Busquets, meanwhile, is the only player for whom the club are yet to make any formal offers. They are still preparing the final proposal for the urgent midfielder, whose current contract expires at the end of the season. Reports suggest Busquets is favoring a move away from the Camp Nou. With Major League Soccer emerging as the likely destination, the club though are not ready to give up just yet. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe so you always stay in touch with the latest on Barca here on Viva Barca. Until next time, bye bye.